I've said it before and I'll say it again. Anxiety is putting all of your energy, effort, thought, emotion, projections into the worst case scenario instead of the best case scenario. Now, where do these things come from? Some of it genuine fear of what could happen, but part of accepting life is acceptance that all realities are possible. And you get to choose the one you want to focus on. So where does most of that fear, and anxiety come from when you're projecting into the worst case scenarios? Insecurities, fears, traumas, events from society, from growing up. And all of these things over time, you've adopted into your perception, your belief, your perspective of the world, right? And so that's what you repeatedly choose, and that's how you repeatedly choose to see through the lens of without realizing. Anxiety is fear of the future, and depression is fear of the past. So when you're having anxieties about things, what you need to do is just stop and observe for a minute. Recognize, hey, what case scenario am I putting all of my energy on? I'm putting my energy on the worst case scenario. I'm making up this scenario. So if I'm making up this worst case scenario and putting my energy there, then isn't it possible for me to create the best case scenario and put my energy there and live there as if that's a reality that could happen, because it's also equally possible as this other fake negative reality that is possible, right? So the one question I ask myself when I'm having these anxieties and these fears of these projected negative scenarios is, all right, what's the opposite of that, right? What's the opposite? What is the best case scenario? What is the opposite scenario? What would the ideal reality be? And just create that and start thinking about that and all of the details there, and how you're gonna feel, what you're gonna say, and who's gonna feel what, and who's gonna say what, and how they put all of the details, just as much effort, energy, thought, emotion, details, visualization, creation as you're putting into the anxious, negative what if. Create the opposite ideal reality. So anytime I'm feeling these feelings, I stop and I think, all right, what's the opposite of this, right? What's the ideal reality? And then I go there and I live there and watch the shift.